Hello everybody, welcome to another preview of a Monkey Ball custom pack. So basically I'm gonna do another remake of Monkey Ball Madness Remastered. This preview will contain beginner levels. So why don't we just begin? Let's say I'm gonna start with this one. This one is 5x5. That one, you start right here, and then these are 5x5 squares. You go any pathway you want, and then just make it to the goal way back there. Uh, that was a pretty good way I tried. I just tried to create that very well. Um, basically, it's one of the beginner extra levels, beginner extra number 2. Well, that was a good one. Here comes your next one. Your next one here is Arc Transfers, Beginner Extra 8. This one doesn't look bad at what I just tried to create. Um, the blue goal is right here, and the green goal is right over there, behind you. If you want to get to the green goal, you go up on that ramp and go down that narrow arc. Yeah, that's one of them at least. If you want to get to the blue, you go like this, transfer from arc to arc, and make it to the goal. That's one of them at least. Don't go away. Might be another one coming up soon. Here's your next one. Beginner Extra 9 Bounce Pads. This one, I think I'm doing all the beginner levels in alphabetical order. Let's see. This bounce pad level, you start here, then you bounce on those bounce pads. And then you can make it to the goal if you can aim for the platform carefully. At least I can remember seeing that just on someone else's video. But that was a pretty good level I tried to make up. Well, here comes another one. Here it is. The next one here is Beginner 7, Camber. I wonder what that means. Whatever. It's a type of slant level. I think you start right here, and you go on the slanted half circles. There's a goal right there, but there might be a bunch of bananas on those two thin slanted lines of some kind. I think that might be one of them at least. But that was a pretty good remake of this level. I like that a lot. Here comes another one. This one is Cliffsides. This is another type of remake from Luigi Mario 280's levels. Yeah, it is one of them. Anyway, you start here, then you go down the ramp and turn right, go up the ramps, then you go down these steps, and you go around the hole, down the ramp. There's a goal right there, and I just put a wall right there because I don't want people to cheat on this level. That's one of my options too, but that was a pretty good remake I was trying to do as well. So, the next one here is Beginner Extra 2. This one here is a cone, which I believe you start up here, then you go down the ramp and go over the cone. But if you want to get the bunches of bananas here or there, that means you might be able to get the bananas of some kind. So that was a pretty good design of that level. I think that might be a choice for later. Let's see. Here's your next one. This one is Convex. I think that one, uh, this pathway right here is a type of ridge, but the two sides, yeah, it's sort of a ridge, but it's pointy enough, isn't it? Um, you start here and then you end right here. You have to be careful on that convex path right there, and that's probably about it. I kinda like that level. Pretty good. At least people might be able to win that one or so. Or I would too. Anyway, here's another one. Get ready. This one is CubeNet, Beginner 15. That one seems kinda easy here, but I think you just basically go this way. Uh, it's like a type of net I just try to make here. Uh, there might be some bananas on these two sides, you know. Um, I bet you might be able to go straight or go over the bumps. I can't even figure it out yet, but when it's released to the public, I'll have to see what they know about it. So, that's all I can tell on this level. Pretty good one, but, uh, what is your next one? Let's find out. Ready? How about Beginner 11, Curves? Instead of the name Inflection, I just added some, there's a couple of curves in this level. I just didn't even center it yet, so, but pretty good level. First you start here, then you go up this ramp right over here, then if you get enough speed to make it jump over to here, you can make it. So you basically go this way down the curves, and then the goal's right here. Yes, I like that one too. Yeah, pretty different name for that than Inflection. Uh, uh, what's your next one? Shall we find out what it looks like? How about Beginner Extra 10? This one is Descent. A little different than the other Descent level of what I saw in the video. Luigi Mario 280 has made this level differently. But I mean, I did. I just made it up. Instead of descending onto the platform, you go down the ramps, and you just basically turn, and basically you just go down the ramps and get to the goal. Basically, it works well for me, and that's about it. I like that level too. Also, it's different than Scrap 651's level. Pretty good one. Let's move on, shall we? Next we have this one. Is Disc Stairs, Beginner Extra 6. I bet these levels are pretty different. So, you're just basically going up the disc stairs. I bet it's gonna work well for some people, but I hope this is a decent level for a beginner. Pretty sure I don't know what's going on with these yet, but it may work well. So the goal is up there, so you just start here and make it all the way up to the top. So that's all I can say for that one, but here's the next one. The next one here is Diversion Channel, or maybe Diversion Channel, whatever I can pronounce. First of all, you start up here, and you go down the ramp after you jump off the edge of this platform, and you go over, well, you go through the slanted wall right there. Then you go on the sideways bridge, then these two squares, they shuffle back and forth. You gotta watch for the shuffling platform? Yeah, I think that's one of them. Anyway, there's a goal right there. That was pretty good. I pretty much like to make these levels different than people. Let's see what our next one is. This is Beginner 13 Drop Ramps. I basically think it's a little different than what I saw. Um, First of all, you start up there and you go drop, drop, drop 3 times on each of those pathways. I mean these 3 ramps, each of those, I think they look different than what I expected. Anyway, uh, the goal right here, you have to aim carefully for that at least. Uh, that's probably about it. I like that level. Pretty good work on this level. Um, let's see. Next up, we have which level? Let's take a guess. This is Elevator, Beginner 6. I basically think that this level does have an elevator right over here. It goes up and down, up and down. First you start up here, down on this platform here. Then you turn right and go up the elevator, and let's see. Wonder if I don't know if I would put a green goal right there, but maybe not. I don't really know what's going on yet. But then you go all the way up to this platform, then you go up and down those ramps, and then to the goal. That's a pretty good design I tried to do, but I'm getting used to making those levels. Let's move on to the next one. This next one here is Ever Increasing, Beginner 8. Different than Ever Decreasing. I think it's just a different name for that level. You start here in the middle, and you go this way, whichever way you want to go. Then you go over those bridges, then you increase the circles. I think that's one of the parts of this level. And the goal's right there, but if you want to get the banana quickly, you could get to this spot right there to get the bunch of bananas. There's a goal right there, like I just said. As you heard. That one was pretty decent. I think you might be able to like that level too. Let's see what our next one here is. Ready? The next one here is Evolution, Beginner 4. This one, instead of devolution, it's evolution. The one that Luigi Mario 280 has made on his level pack, but I just did a remake about it. First of all, you go this way. First, the shapes increase all the way to the 12-sided shape, I'll bet. Or wait, I think that's a 14-sided shape I just tried to picture. That's all I can do on that one, right? Anyway, you go walking on those evolution shapes. I think that's one of the options, but pretty good level, I would hope. That's pretty much about it. Good job. What else is there? Let's see what it looks like. This is Geometry Walk, Beginner Extra 4. Oh, thank goodness, I like that level. I just tried to make that up. First of all, you start on the square. You just basically walk your way through the shapes. And I think you just go on those shapes, yeah. It's one of them at least. Starting from square to triangle, and then to the circle, and then to the octagon. I bet that might work for me too. You just walk on the geometry. Yeah, just like walking on floors of some kind. Well, anyway, you start here and then you get to the blue goal. It's a choice for me, but let's see. Now we have. This is Beginner 5, Humpy X. I think that one is. I think the square it's right here, and there's an X right here on the in the edges. I'm betting I can actually get the bananas on this level. Well, there's some bananas here, 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 and there. There might be some other bananas on the X, and might be another choice for me, but you start here, you get a few bananas if you want. There's a goal right over there, and makes sense to me at least. I'm pretty sure I can win this level. Anyway, that's a pretty good bonus stage I just tried to make. Alright, let's see what else there is. The next one I have here is Beginner Extra 1 Isolated. Let's see. First of all, you start right here, and then you walk left or right, and probably avoid some hazards on whichever side you're on, like bumpers, or let's say bumpers, at least. It might be a choice for me, but let's say you go up the ramps at the end of this ring, or whichever layer it is. I've separated those platforms, you know. There's a wormhole right there, and then you wormhole right up there and avoid the rest of the other bumpers. That is not that bad. There's a goal right there at the end of this level. That's probably about it. Good job. Now, here comes your next one. Here it comes. The next one is Beginner 9 Kickers. Looks different than what I saw in video. First you start here, and you go up the ramps. They look like kickers to me. There's a blue goal here. If you want to get to the green goal, this ramp right there is moving back and forth. You gotta time yourself right to get up to the green goal right over there. And that's pretty much about it. I like that. Yeah, that might work for me. Anyway, the next one, let's see what it's up to now. Now, the next one I have this time is Beginner 14 Penrose. I think that might be a type of structure, but I didn't make that structure. It's just those platforms here. I think you start right here and you go down those steps, and then go up these the hill steps of some kind. Excuse me. That one is a goal right here at the end of that level. Pretty sure I can time it right. That one too, but good job on that at least. Anyway, I think the next one, I have to know what else there might be, but here it comes. Now I have Pepperoni. It's Beginner 16, the track name. I believe I just did do a remake for this level pack. It was from one of Flubby's levels. I mean, let me describe it for you. This one is where you have to go down the pepperoni step. And might be about it. I think basically I'll have to aim my jump or something like that, but that one works well for me. Pretty good level. I'll have to keep looking at more of them. I'm doing great at this. Let me see if there's another one. Here is another one of those bonus stages. This is Plus. See how it looks? I think you're going down the ramps. I think. Basically, it's another bonus stage where you can collect a lot of bananas. I'm betting it might work for some people, but you can go like this if you wanted. The goal is way down there after you start up there, but that one was a pretty decent level I just tried to make up. Pretty sure I can handle that one, but let's see what else there is. How about Retrogress, Beginner 8? This one I think it's like a ramp racetrack as well. I think that might be a nice idea for one, but let's try you start up down there and go up this ramp. There might be some bumpers right here on this square. And oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. The next idea, you drop down there, it's a little different than what you saw in the video. You go side along that wall, and up the ramp, and then to the goal. That was a pretty easy one, I would hope, but pretty good one. I think there might be another one coming up soon. Here it is. Here is Beginner 1. It's the very first one, named Rain. It's pretty easy enough for beginner, very first one at least. First you start here, you can go whichever way you want around the rain. There's a goal right there for you to make it at least. I would say I have walls on here to be sure, but that's a pretty good job right there. I like that one too. It's pretty simple. At least I can win that one too, if I released it into the public. So that might be a choice for later. Alright, here's our next one. The next one is Shapes, Beginner 17. Let's see, you start right here on that circle, then you go around, then you have to, I think you have to jump carefully onto that X. I think that might work for a reason. Then you jump on that square, there's a goal right there to make it. Well, I think that might work out well for me. I bet I'm gonna actually try and do that as well. There might be more coming up soon. Here's your next one. How about... oh, excuse me, I clicked on those buttons right there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. How about Beginner Extra 3? Stairs. First you go down the stairs right here. And then the other way, if you want to go back this way, it's the other staircase of some kind. You just go get some speed to make it up these stairs right over there. That might be a choice, but I think there might be a few more left. Let's see what else there might be. Here it comes. How about another one? Beginner Extra 7 is Triple Cyclone. A little different than Pseudonymous BN's levels, but there's only 3 cyclones that you'll have to go down through the hole. And let me show you. You start up here, then you go down the cyclone, and you gotta aim carefully for the next cyclone. And then you have to aim carefully for the other cyclone after this next cyclone. I think if at the last cyclone you have to drop down to this platform at the very bottom. At least I can see how it looks like. But pretty good level. I gotta say I pretty much like these levels. There's a goal right there, by the way, as you heard at least. Pretty good level. It's just a little bit of a remake. But let's move on to the next one, shall we? Let's see, what else is there? I only have 2 more levels to show for this presentation, or preview, whatever I'm saying, but anyway, this next one here is Up and Down. I think I just did a remake of that one, but see, you start here, and you go up, and then down the bridge. There's a goal right there, but you might get a bunch of bananas right there at least. But that's probably about it. I like that design of that. I bet I'll have to add some backgrounds to a few of these levels, but I'll tell you more about it later. Anyway, here comes our last one. It's Wings3D Logo. Beginner 20 is your last level that I'm showing for this preview. First of all, this looks like a Wings3D logo, just like on the logo program I actually used. This one is basically a Wings3D, like I just said. Uh, there's some bumps you can go over. I think they look like dips to me, but if you want to get the bananas before you get to the goal, you go this way, bump off the edges, and get the banana here. You go bump on the other edge to get these banana right there. I think that's one of them to me, but there's a goal right there if you can see it, but I don't think I put it on there yet, but someday I'll put it on there someday. Uh, that's all I'm doing for this presentation or preview. This time, that was a good preview. I think I'll have to add some backgrounds to it someday. Thanks a lot for watching this preview, and hope you give a like and subscribe, and I'll show another preview about these levels someday. Thanks a lot for watching this, I'll see you later. Bye!